All right, let's get started. I just want to thank you for joining this evening. Thank you for your time. My name is Jennifer Bento-Pinion. I'm here at MEFA on the college planning team as program manager for MEFA Pathway. And tonight, our session will focus on one feature of the MEFA Pathway college and career planning platform. So there are many features that the site offers, but tonight we're just going to do a little mini session on how students can connect their interests and values to a career search. So I'm going to keep everyone on mute throughout the session, and following this session, I will send a follow-up email with we'll be recording this session, so I will send a copy of that recording and some of our resources, just our call-in number if you have any questions, and of course you'll have my contact information if you have any further questions. So if you aren't familiar with MEFA Pathway, MEFA Pathway is a complete college and career planning platform. It's available for all students in grades 6 through 12. MEFA Pathway plays a key role in the Commonwealth's efforts around college and career readiness by increasing access to information about higher education and career opportunities for all types of students. So we know that every student's path is different, and MEFA Pathway is not a one-size-fits-all approach to future planning, but rather tailored to meet the needs of those diverse populations. So I'm showing you here and we're going to go into the platform live here. So I would encourage all of you to create, have your students create their own account in MEFA Pathway. The registration process is very simple. We're on mefapathway.org. It's a main landing page, and then your student would just click, I am a student, and then they would be a first-time user and go through that registration process. So first name, last name, date of birth, they have to follow that format, which sometimes students get a little stumped. They have to put the slashes in. They select the city or town that the school that they attend is in. So just as an example, I'll use Chelmsford. So I'll put Chelmsford in here, and then the student would see all of the corresponding schools in that town. So they would select the school that they attend. The next page, they create a username. They create a password. They do have to have a working email address to register an account. So that's important. Also important to note, we never take away students' accounts. So something to note maybe when they're registering their account, whether or not they use a personal email address or a school email address, because school email addresses are oftentimes disabled when the student graduates. So that's that's the choice up to the student. But then they create 2 security questions along with answers. Security questions and the email address allow the student to reset their password or retrieve their username if and when they forget either of those. So once they get through that registration process, they just click submit, and so they've created their credentials. And then when they subsequently log into the website, they then just put in their username and password. So I'm going to log into my test account here, if I can remember my password. Oh, you see, let's try that again. It's not gonna let me, is it? Okay, well that figures, right? So let's try a different, test account here. All right, this is letting me in. All right. So yeah, important to remember your username and password. So when your student creates their credentials, they log into the system, and depending on the year of graduation that they selected during that registration process is what they will see for suggested activities on their dashboard. So this, my test student here, Jennifer S., she's a grade 10 student. So the dashboard here, what the dashboard serves as is for the student to, their next activities or what they should potentially be thinking of per grade level. So our grade 10 student should be updating their profile, creating that resume, reviewing their course plan, maybe reassessing and retaking those assessments, which is what I'm going to show you here in a couple of minutes, exploring careers. So what a grade 10 student sees is a little bit different than, for example, that of what a grade 12 student sees. So a grade 12 student would see, managing college applications, updating that college list, updating that college decision. So again, a little bit different. Also on this dashboard, we always have a featured scholarship. So we update that. This deadline isn't until February, so there's a little bit to go before the deadline. And then also on this dashboard has we have this video series, which we had done the last few years. So we interviewed a handful of students across the Commonwealth about we call it the journey to college. So it was a series of questions about how they came to know that they wanted to go to college and apply to college, and what that college process for them looked like. So just kind of fun for students to see what their peers have done with that college admission process. All right, so what we're going to look at tonight is we'll find under the Discover Careers tab here. So we have 3 assessments within this platform that are available, and 2 of which tie right into the career search. So this is important because for the student to look at early on, definitely in grade 9, and starting to assess what their interests are, what types of things they like to do, what is important to them as far as work values go, and how that can tie into a potential career. So we're going to click on this Get to Know Yourself tab here, and this is where you'll find the 3 assessments. So we have what are your interests, what are your work values, and what are your skills. So the interests in the work values assessment are the assessments that tie into the career search. So I'm just going to give you a quick glimpse of what this interest assessment looks like. So the student can take and retake this assessment as many times as they like. They would be able to see if they've already taken this assessment, they can get to their previous results right from this tab. Now, I will say that we have if schools across the Commonwealth also have the opportunity to become one of our affiliate schools. We currently have just under 80 schools that are affiliate schools. And if your student goes to one of our affiliates, and you can see that list of participating schools on the website, then the educators at that school have access to the counselor portal, and they can see the results of your student's interest assessment, that values assessment, and they can see up to 3 groupings of those results. So they can then give informed support for your student and what they want to do with their post-secondary plan. So just to show you here, if we were to get started on this assessment, there are 30 activities that are included in this assessment. This assessment is based off the Holland codes. So 30 activities, a student rates the activity from the very sad face to the very happy face. So they just select what they would like, they rate that activity, and they go on to the next page. Now the student does, and I won't bring you through the 30, the student does have to get to the end of the 30 activities before they can get to their results. So they rate those 30 activities, they get to the end, then they save their results. And once they do that, they are brought to this result page. And their top 3 results are in these boxes here. So now is where the fun starts. You can scroll down a little bit here and you get a summary of each of those potential results that they may have had. But from here, they are encouraged to see associated careers based on these results. So let's just, for example, say, okay, investigative sounds interesting. Let's click on that. We can see now a corresponding list of careers based on that result. And from here, the student can say, oh, wow, gosh, I have to say, like, a lot of times these lists populate, and I probably a third of them, I'm like, whoa, I've never heard of that before. So here's remote sensing scientist and technologist. So if a student clicks on a career, they are brought to this career details page. So at the top, kind of general information, the career category that this career belongs in, required education level. And then as we scroll down, the student will get all kinds of detailed information. They can access a video here. So if they were to click on this little play tab, they would get about 90 seconds to 2 minutes of a individual speaking about this career and what they do in a particular day. And so if we scroll down, we'll see that there's a lot of information on this particular career. So when we get to the very bottom of the page, the students' top interests are shown and how they correspond with the top characteristics of that career. So, and also the work values, which I haven't shown yet. So if a student says, oh, this looks like an interesting career, I'd like to come back to this and maybe look at it further, they can save a career to their list. So now they're building up a list of careers that they may be interested in. And this is important because, obviously students aren't going to really, most students aren't going to really know exactly what they want to do or what they would like to study. So this kind of gets them started exploring and discovering the potential. All right, let's go back to that get to know yourself page here because I want to show you the values assessment and how that ties in as well. So what are your work values? You just click on get started. It's a different format for the values assessment, but the results are kind of, the results page is the same. So the student reads what the value is, I make use of my abilities, and then they can drop it in the box. So how important is this to the student? Maybe this is in the middle somewhere. So they just click on the little plus and it drops it in the box. I can try out my own ideas. Maybe that's a little more important. So they actually get through the 20 values, work values, and then they save their results. And then once they finish that assessment, then they are brought to that similar looking results page. And so they can then go and say, okay, this achievement result, I want to look at associated careers with that and go from there. So the skills assessment is not tied into the actual main career search page, but it's valuable to the student for sure. So the student can look at this skills assessment, and let me just show you what it looks like. They go through 32 of these skills and they rate themselves. Okay, so that's important for students to start thinking about as well, like maybe areas that they're stronger in and areas that they're maybe a little less, that are a little weaker for them. All right, so I'm going to bring you now, so we're all under the Discover Careers page here. I'm going to bring you to the Career Search page. So this is the main hub of the career search. And as you can see, you can filter out, we're going to generate a list here. I'm going to show you how to do that, but you can use the filters here in an effective way. So just to say, all of the information on the careers comes from ONET, and that's updated regularly. So everything is current. But I would like to show you first, and we're just going to scroll down here a little bit on the left nav bar. You want to, if your student has completed that interest assessment, you'll want to come over here and click Use My Interests. And those top 3 interests results will automatically be checked off with a list of corresponding careers alphabetized. So maybe your student wants to apply their top 3 results, and maybe they want to apply the education level. So maybe this is a student that would like to go to school for a vocational training or a 2-year degree. So we're going to just select that on the top of the screen here. So now you can see we're down to 169 careers, and they're listed here alphabetically. And then maybe the student wants to, they know that their career category interest lies within just, maybe we'll say health and human services. So we're going to check off that career category or cluster here. And now, based on those filters that we've applied, we can see that we have 25 careers found. So the student can save a search, so they can apply, different varying filters, and then save a search, and then go back to those particular searches. But also from these lists here, the student can look to see, what they would like to further explore. Whoa, what's a nuclear medicine technologist? They can click on it, and then they're brought to that details page. So again, they're kind of going through that same process, looking at the different careers, and then maybe they would like to save this to their career list. So let me show you what that career list looks like. So kind of sky's the limit with that career search page. They can obviously apply many different combinations of filters. Maybe they just want to filter out a list based on a 2-year degree, and then apply a career category, and then just save that. So many different combinations that the student can do. And as you can see, my student here has a lot of careers saved to their list, 51 careers. So maybe that's, grades 9 and 10. And as the student gets a little more certain about what they would like to do after high school, they start narrowing that list down. So you can remove a career off a list. And as you can see on this career list, the category is notated. So maybe that's something that the student is looking at. Like maybe they're saying, oh, wow, it's funny. I have a lot of careers saved on my list that fall into that health science category. So that's the career list is important to keep mind of. And then the last thing that I'll show you is actually, this feature is brand new. It's called Investigate Your Future. And actually within the Investigate Your Future tab, we have four great activities for students. And right now we have this one that is live. It's called Now Trending. So the student can find out the top trending skills and occupation in today's market and the companies that are hiring. So I'm just going to click go here. So this is great labor market information that we now have within the site. So the student can look at top careers, top soft skills, top technology skills, and companies are hiring, and they can filter out based on location and career category. So just to show you how it works, I'll type in Massachusetts here. And then my career category, let's see, let's select engineering just for the heck of it. And now we see our top 10 trending careers based on engineering in Massachusetts, top skills, top technology skills, and then companies that are hiring. So as you can see, this architectural and engineering managers already appears on this student's favorites on their career list. So you can see based on that colored in heart. But the student can see if they wanted to search for jobs on LinkedIn right directly from here, what was available for electrical engineers in this area. So I think I'm logged into my LinkedIn account here, so it brings me to my page. Or if the student doesn't have a LinkedIn account, it brings them to that general page, and they can then create that. They can then create a LinkedIn account. So just kind of cool to see like what's trending as far as careers goes in different regions across the United States. And then we do have these other 3 features that will be available too, I think are coming live, will be live this week. So stay tuned for that. All right, so that was kind of the quick overview of our careers piece and how students can connect their interests and values to potential careers. I hope you enjoyed the session. I appreciate your time tonight. And I will follow up with an email with a recording of this session. And if you have any further questions, or if you're part of if you're an educator at a school and interested in becoming an affiliate, certainly reach out. All right, thanks again. Have a great evening.